Hello, everybody. I'm Val Pancakes, and joining me tonight on the stack, I have Schwartzy.
Hello, Schwartzy here. Hello, Valerie Pancakes.
Hello, good sir. Thank you for joining me tonight.
It is a pleasure.
You can find Schwartzy in Ruthless Pro Wrestling, NFI Underground, and Flophouse, among others. Thank you for hanging out with me tonight, Schwartzy.
Yes, I love pancakes in the evening. I have breakfast all times of day. So let's get it on like the Donkey Kong and stuff.
Hell yeah. I'm all for breakfast for dinner. So let's go.
Breakfast is the best meal ever.
I agree. I thoroughly enjoy a good hearty breakfast at any time of the day or evening.
Can't go wrong.
So what was a young Schwartzy like?
Well, no, young Schwartzy, always a dreamer. I was always a dreamer. Just honestly, a young Schwartzy. Before I truly knew I wanted to be a wrestler, I actually wanted to be on Saturday Night Live. So young Schwartzy was always stunting and hot dogging in public and, showing off for the boys and girls, even when they didn't want it. But I was rambunctious and full of life. And I've always had a knack for trying to make sure everybody was having a good time in the room,
Well, that was one of the reasons why I wanted to talk to you, is because you always look like you're having like a fun time every time I've seen you on like IWTV wrestling and stuff. So I was like, this should be a good person to speak with because I'm very entertained and I think that everyone will be entertained.
Oh, thank you. I try. You gotta party. You gotta stop and party every once in a while.
So what has been your greatest achievement in wrestling and what has been the greatest obstacle that you've overcome?
My greatest achievement in wrestling
so far. So
as the proprietor of Flophouse Wrestling, I was able to put on a show last year at WrestleMania for everybody. And my goal was to take as many people that had the dream of being on WrestleMania weekend that have not achieved it. I wanted to get as many people that deserved it as I could get under one roof and put them on the show. And we put on one hell of a show, and I was able to have a room full of gentlemen and ladies and gender fluids, if you will, and everybody was there. And we had easily 68 people debut on WrestleMania weekend and put that goal and that dream behind them, because you can't have that stuck on you forever. You've got to be able to move on and dream for bigger things. So we wanted to put that behind as many people as we could. A lot of people had that goal, and we just had to X-nay that and get you moving onto your journey here in wrestling, if you will. As far as my biggest obstacle, I think I'm still currently facing it. I'm a confident man, as everyone can see, but I think my biggest obstacle is getting through my current glass ceiling, if you will. Finding my next big promotion skis that wants to break out Schwartzy and give me an opportunity. That's kind of what I'm really working for right now, like a GCW. You got your ICWs, you've got Action Wrestling, you've got, Paradigms. The next promotion, the next move for me is probably my biggest obstacle right now.
Right on. Just kind of getting out there and seeing more places.
Yes, I wasn't able to fully become Schwartzy until the last 2 years. Pandemic was really good to me. But I had a good change in outlook on life. Schwartzy was born, and we're partying every day. We're living every day, having fun, not getting shook on the small shit. And we're goal oriented, we're focused, and we're killing it.
Hell yeah. That's what I like to see. And 2022 is right around the corner, and I'm sure that you will be in multiple more promotions.
That's a lot of twos I have to put in. Like February is going to be a real bitch. February 2022, 22nd. I don't want to do all those twos. I just don't want to.
You'll have to hibernate on February 22nd.
I'm not going to come out at all. I fill out no such paperwork.
I think that's fair. I don't know what day of the week that is, but
I really don't do paperwork anyway.
You don't strike me as a paperwork kind of guy.
No, just rolling paperwork. That's about it. That's about where we go with this.
I can appreciate that.
Yes.
So, if you could create your own title, what would it be for, and how would it be defended?
I have my own title. I do have my own title, actually. It's the Big Dabski Invitational over at RPW. It's the Scramble Trophy. Honestly, I wouldn't change a thing about that. I love that concept. You know, when you work in the Midwest, you're very accustomed to the goddamn scramble match, like 10 people, 20 people, 15 people and a goat, you know, some shit like that. So you're always trying to cut your teeth in a goddamn scramble match. So if you can like show out in a scramble ski, holy shit. That's the test. That's how you test your mettle to me as a wrestler. So I wouldn't change a thing about it. Not a thing.
That's awesome. Do you currently have that title, or does somebody else have that title?
Shit. No, someone took it off me. I lost that many. You know, Hoodfoot took it off me, and then he lost it to somebody, and it's kind of been passed around like, you know, like a college disease, but
Well,
yes.
I will say Hoodfoot sounds like a worthy person to lose that to. He's a fantastic wrestler.
I'd have it no other way. He's honestly the breakout star of 2021. If you ask me, on the most serious of notes, Hoodfoot's probably the guy. And anybody that's not using that guy is missing out on very large amounts of money.
Very large amounts of money indeed.
Very huge, colossal.
Huge. So if you had an action figure of yourself and it was like one of the ones that had like a speaker like on it, what would you want it to say, and what accessories would you want it to come with?
3 phrases?
3 phrases, or as many phrases as you want.
Oh, well, you got it. You know, when you pull the cord, is this a pull the cord type of deal, like a plush, or like an action figure?
I would say more like an action figure. It's like a button.
Okay, well, one of it's gonna be watch your ass, homie, because it's got to be tough. It's got to strike fear. It's an action figure, so that would be my big action. You know, watch your ass, homie. And then obviously you'd have my patented Got to let everybody know it's okay. And then you know, we're trying to sell t-shirts here, so I do everybody tap skis. Watch your ass, homie. And everybody tap skis.
Those are really good catchphrases.
Well, my mom always said I was above average genius, so she couldn't be a liar. My mom wouldn't lie to me. She's
Never.
Lovely woman.
So what accessories would you want it to come with?
Well, it'd come with my patented cooler, of course. I'd love to have my cooler with all my dab skis and all my accoutrements, if you will. Big dab cooler, and I honestly would like you got to give me the microphone. I love to talk, love to hear myself talk. I think my voice is very soothing. It's like a Kenny G effect. Makes you know, ladies moist, men hard, all that kind of shit. Whatever it does for you, I'm here for it. I'm here to accommodate.
I appreciate that.
You're very
welcome. I like that you're just so easygoing about it, you know? You're just like, whatever.
We're all here, baby. That's what we do, you know?
However
and my wife is giving me the evil eye right now. I can't believe she lets me come out and do all this crap, but God bless her.
Well, thank you, Schwartzy's wife.
Shout out to Randy West.
So when you're on the road, because you're a wrestler, you're on the road, what do you usually listen to while you're on the road? And then what is your best road story?
Oh, there's only one kind of music. There's only one. The greatest music ever created was 1990s dance music. A little La Bouche, a little Depeche Mode, you know, amber, you get some amber going, girl. I'm getting real sexual. That's how it is. I love that shit. 90s dance music all the way. Definitely. That's got to be it.
I can get down to that. I grew up in the 90s, so that's fair.
What a fantastic time it was.
That it was.
$2 if you didn't rewind your blockbusters either. Ain't that some shit?
Now look what happened to Blockbuster. So, what is your best road story? Like, there's always usually something that's happened that's like either funny or exciting or just like weird.
Oh my goodness. I don't know really like the like top of the top stories, but like so me and the homies have driven out to Hood Slam a couple of times, and as you all know, that's Oakland, California, and we were in Indianapolis, Indiana. That's where we're starting from. So we drove all the way to Oakland and did our show and did Hood Slam and all that. And we got back to our car and someone had broken out the back windshield. So we're driving back with a bag on the back of our car. Sure enough, we get to the desert. As we're chugging along in the desert, we ran out of gas in the desert. So that was not tits, to say the least. So we finally got that all fixed. And then we get all the way to about Iowa. We blew 2 tires. And all the while, the funny thing is Randy West is in the car with me, Hoodfoot, Satu Jin, some pretty manly men. She was teaching us how to change a tire. That's you don't show me no toxic masculinity here. That woman changed that tire real good for us big burly men. So that happened. And then so the whole way home, basically, Randy's taking care of our whole car, holding it together with duct tape, bags. So I mean, that's probably one of my more fun road stories, is just Randy West babysitting us the whole way home, taking care of us big men. And that's generally the way it goes. She's road mom material all the way. But yeah, we've had so many breakdowns, just not 3 in one sitting.
Fair. So we've been talking for about 10 minutes now, and I went from like, I like Randy and her work, to like, I fucking love Randy. And oh my God, I so need to see her someday.
Like, it's like you have to put her over. She takes care of me so much. She makes sure I don't walk off a cliff, my happy ass. So love that. Love not walking my happy ass off a cliff. That's nice.
Yep. Randy's the unofficial star of this interview now.
She is. I gotta stop doing that.
Why? I don't think you should stop.
Because she's always carrying me. It's terrible. I got 2 feet, right?
I mean, yeah, but sometimes it's nice to have that support, right?
Always. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Randy. I really wouldn't.
Oh, that's cute. So
look at this moment. Aren't we warming hearts? You better break out the cocoa. We're warming hearts here.
We are warming hearts. That's the best thing about these interviews. You just never know where they're going to go, right? So you said you like 90s dance music, but like, what's the most surprising song on your playlist? Like, what is the one song that people be like, oh, that doesn't fit?
Probably what is it? Willie Nelson's Buddy.
Yep, that would be the one.
That would be the one. Love me somebody though.
That does not fit. So thank you.
No.
So other than your gear and your phone, What do you not leave for a wrestling trip without?
Fanny pack. What kind of question is that? My fanny
So
pack and my dabs every time without fail.
fair enough. I was gonna ask if I can know what's in the fanny pack, but
Well, let's see what we got here.
Obviously the jab skis.
Got some dabs. Got 32 cents. Got some
But an oddly
headphones.
specific amount.
Oddly. My wallet, skis, a receipt, my mask, because we're not out of the water yet, Holmes. We're not out of the water yet. It's okay. You don't look stupid. You can wear a mask. It's okay. Don't feel bad. And
I
some
look better with
receipts
the
for
mask.
some receipts from a dispensary that I just was at, Levels Dispensary. Yes.
Nice. So what is the weirdest request you've gotten from a fan as a wrestler that you can tell me about?
Well, I have been asked some pretty foul things, some inappropriate. Most people know wrestlers get inappropriate messages. It's not a big secret. If you follow Trisha Parker, she loves to out them, which is very funny, super funny. It's funny reading some of those things because they're stupid. But people ask you to do a lot of things with your feet. Feet's a big thing in wrestling, skis. They want you to do things with your feet, whether it be sexual or just like, hey, will you step on a tomato in a video for me or some shit? Like, feet shit is probably always the most off-putting, off-catching shit that frequently flies at you in wrestling. Wrestling fans, you love feet. I don't get it. I'm not mad at it, but you love your feet. Feet shit.
Yep.
Oh my. So
Yeah.
it's feet shit. Everything else is beyond that is just like inappropriate stuff, and you just shouldn't send that to anybody. Or hopefully they're sending it to your mother and letting her know she hasn't done a good job.
So what is the wrestling word you use most outside of wrestling?
I mean, isn't it obvious? We all use it's gimmick. We love the gimmick.
Always gimmick.
It's always gimmick. That's not like, oh, you know what I use? I use kayfabe, or I use work the deal. But no, we it's gimmick, and then second is the deal. We call it the deal. There's always somebody called the deal. I've been in the business about 15 years. There was a guy the deal then. There's 15 guys being the deal now, and it's called the deal. The thing's the deal. You hit people with the deal. It's always the deal. So gimmick and deal.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Gimmick or no deal.
Or no deal.
Outside of wrestling, like what hobbies do you have? What does Schwartzy do on his downtime?
What does Schwartzy do? Well, I'll tell you what he does. He gardens. He's a big gardener. Schwartzy likes to garden. Over pandemic skis, I was able to build an above ground garden in my backyard. And believe it or not, I've got a green thumb. Isn't that something? That's true. So I like to garden tomatoes. I have a good pepper garden. This isn't one of my clever Schwartzy I grow pot jokes. I have an actual garden, like a real garden. I said,
You saw like the wheels turning. I was like,
I'm not that clever. I usually just stumble onto those bangers, and I'm like, oh, I said that. No, I have an actual garden, a real garden. I like to garden. My mommy gardened, so I guess I got to get gardening too. I'm also good at that shit, so there's that.
nice.
Yes.
I've never pictured you for like a gardener of that variety.
So I would say, yeah. So in my free time, I garden and smoke a large amount of marijuana. That's basically day in the life. If you were to do cribs at my house, that's it. This is my garden. This is my weed, Holmes. With like some Joe Budden in the background playing Pump It Up as we go between rooms. Joe Budden was always on cribs.
So if you could either go back in time and wrestle yourself for like your first match, or if you could wrestle yourself 5 years into the future, which would you do and why?
Oh, easy. I would wrestle myself 5 years into the future because my first match, I was dog shit. You think I'd want to wrestle that green piece of garbage? I was trash. No doubt about it. Didn't know my ass from my fucking wrist lock from a fucking hole. No. I wouldn't wrestle that piece of shit. Thought he knew everything too. Yikes. Someone should have slapped the dog shit out of original Schwartz. No, I think they did. That's why I'm here now. No, we're good. I got checked.
Maybe you should go back in time and like
I was
do
a
that to
time
your own
traveler
self.
once. I was a time traveler once. It wasn't bookable. Why would I do that? No one wanted to book that. So I said, I'm just getting bookable, homie. Look at me. I'm on a roll. 2 years strong.
And through the pandemic, no less, when wrestling was
we had
at a
everyone
weird
had to get
place.
real sick, so they had to assess their options. It's okay. I stayed strong. I wore a mask. I outlasted some people, and maybe that's it. I played the numbers.
I mean, there's different ways to go about things. So maybe that's
not the ideal way. I wish I would have just kind of did it, but we're here now.
Making the best out of a bad situation.
Yes.
Isn't the worst way to go about it.
No, it's a good situation now.
Yeah, see? So speaking of, what do you have coming up?
Well, I have, it's kind of like a slower time of year. I have a lot of things coming up in the beginning of next year, but to finish out the year, Ski, if you want to find me, you can find me on most Friday nights at Future Great Wrestling, Cody Hawks in Hamilton, Ohio. Love Future Great Wrestling. Cody Hawks developed some of the greatest minds in wrestling. It's a no-brainer for me to go work for him. It's a fine place. Every Friday night, Hamilton, Ohio. Or if that's too goddamn far, which, it's Ohio. Not everyone's near Ohio. You can watch Shockwave. They have their own TV show on YouTube. That's fantastic and enjoyable, and people generally like that, especially when Schwartzy's on it. That's nice. You can also find me tagging with my homie Kenny Urbanskis at the RPW Boiling Point 2 tag team tournament on the 27th. Fear and Loathing in Pro Wrestling, and Goose is gonna be there. We're gonna bring Goose with us. He got let out of his parole early, so Goose is going to be on his best behavior, and we're going to have a good time. There's a lot of good teams in that thing. We've got like the Rejects, we've got the Hallowed, we've got Midwest Scum, DTA, and I can't wait to whoop the dog shit out of all of them while Kenny says, "What a good job you're doing, Schwartzy. I hope I can tag in sometime." And I'm saying, I'm doing just fine, Kenny. I'll be good.
Well, I mean, maybe let him tag him for like this is a treat.
I do. I have to learn to trust, don't I?
I mean, you're gonna want to take a breather, maybe get a little Dabski in there. You can't. I mean, it's better for you if you take a little break to do that, right?
That's true. I could take a second. Me and Goose can get real baked, and Kenny cannot. Hopefully, and I taught him how to it's kind of react like a fish. Once you get on your back, just jump up real quick. Just get real floppy. Just get as floppy as humanly possible.
Wrestling advice from Schwartzy.
I'm a genius. My mom said it. I told you this.
We've already been over it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So, couple more questions, and then I'll let you go for the evening. I appreciate you hanging out. How do you take your pancakes?
How do I take my pancakes? First of all, I love pancakes, and I take them very different ways. It depends on the type of day, depends on what I'm doing. Usually, my favorite pancakes is the night after a good night of getting real fucked up with the homies. I like those cinnamon roll pancakes that they have over at Denny's right now.
Those are the best. I've had those and they're delicious.
The hardest. Sometimes I literally pick up my pancakes and slap them together. They're slapping so hard. And then I say, bring me more cinnamon rolls. I slap them off. They're on the floor. All the cinnamon's on the floor.
Those pancakes are legit. Like I had those last year and they were super good.
They're
Nice.
amazing.
Excellent pick.
Thank you. I know my pancakes. I told you I'm a breakfast man.
Clearly. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you didn't try to tell me you prefer waffles.
I mean, I like waffles, but like pancakes, you just stack them up and you can put anything on them. Like waffles, things get caught in the little squares, and it's a different experience. That's like saying I also like French toast, but it's different. But pancakes, you can put more variety to pancakes.
10 of 10 agree with you on that. Like sometimes I like to put peanut butter on my pancakes.
Oh, I got this nice protein peanut butter that you can put on. Oh, it's delicious.
That's absolutely a solid way to go if you're just at home enjoying a basic buttermilk pancake or a chocolate chip pancake.
Yes. Condiment friendly.
Right? So I'm going to set like a quick little scene for you. Okay. So like just like go on the journey with me. Okay. So you decide it's been a long day. You're hungry. You want to go get something to eat. You go to the store. You're like, I want something sweet. So you go like you're meandering through the aisles and you go to the cookie aisle and you're looking at all of the cookies and you decide that you want to go with an Oreo. But like,
that's a real scenario.
Yes, but you still have options, right? There are still choices. Like, so pretend you don't want any of like the weird flavors. Like you just want like a regular like chocolate cookie, cream center, nothing too fancy. But you can.
Can we do this for real?
Yeah, if we're ever hanging out, we absolutely can do this for real. Depending on how you answer this question.
Okay.
Now, are you gonna pick the thin Oreos with like just a little bit of cream? Are you gonna pick the regular Oreos with just the standard amount? Or are you going to pick the double stuffed Oreo with like the extra amount?
Ooh, I like Regos. I like the regular ass Oreos. The thin, I like to have just as much. I like the cookie. But the thin, I can't do the thin. What kind of highway robbery is all that bullshit? Double stuffed, I like to tear through Oreos. So like you get too much stuffing in there and then eventually you can't have as many Oreos as you were once having. So I don't drink milk. So I can't dunk it into the milk.
So I don't drink milk either.
Yes. Oh, that's so refreshing. Everyone's drinking milk around us. It's a conspiracy.
Well, they can drink all the milk they want, and I'm just not going to ever do that. So.
But I'm a regular Oreo type of homie. I don't like them thin. I don't like them. I did, however, have the like maximum stuffed ones, like those big stuffed ones that you get where you get like 4 in a package. Those were enjoyable.
So you like either the regular amount of stuff or like an extra super lot amount of stuff.
Yeah,
but a
like
double stuff just doesn't do
like
it. Like
a Wilford Brimley amount of diabetes stuffing or just regular stuffing.
I mean, I will tell you that the unofficial correct answer to that question is a double stuffed Oreo.
Oh, I saw it in your eyes, girl. I'm so sorry to have let you down, but I keep it 100.
I appreciate you being honest with me about it. We can still go get Oreos sometime if we're ever in the same general location. You can get your whatever boring single regular stuffed Oreos.
Oh, and you don't call me vanilla. You just low-key called me vanilla. What's that about, homie?
Well, you're the one that said you wanted just regular Oreos. So I don't know what to tell you.
They're classic. There's a lot of things done in the 70s. There's a lot of things invented in the 70s that we all still enjoy, especially in the bedroom. So classics never die. I
like my Oreos thick.
Ain't no shame in that. Just not how I like my Oreos.
And that's a choice that you make. So
but they make Oreos for everybody. Everybody can enjoy different types of Oreos, all shapes and sizes, and that's fantastic. The Oreo Corp's got it down.
They know what's up. I will say one time I had the Oreo Thins. I don't normally subscribe to Oreo Thins because why would I do that? But they were covered in milk chocolate. So they weren't so bad.
That's like a dude that drives a truck that's like 4 feet tall. You're overcompensating. Like what? I would have just gotten the fudge rounds.
So
What's your favorite flavor Oreo when you have to get a flavor though?
I very much will almost always pick just the regular Oreo with the double stuffed, but I will say that the lemon ones are good. I'm a lemon gal.
I've not had those. I like lemon.
I like
the mint.
lemon.
I like the mint.
You like your
Don't you make those, don't you judge Schwartzy.
I mean, I guess if you like toothpaste with your chocolate,
Toothpaste
go
in the
for it.
deal. Yes. I've heard the joke.
I mean, mint is just not a flavor that I pick for anything ever.
Oh.
Except for gum.
Not even ice cream?
No. Why would I ruin ice cream with mint?
Oh. That's not good. I love mint.
I know. That's why I don't eat it. Mint ice cream is terrible.
Well, more mint for me.
I guess.
Yeah, I'll eat all the crest. I eat crest right out of the bottle. I don't care. Aqua fresh.
Well, on that bombshell. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate you hanging out with me for a little bit here.
Much fun. Yes, thank you for having me.
And answering my dumb questions. If you can hang out for just a second after we get off, so you can wrap things up real quick. But this has been The Stack. I'm Val Pancakes, and this has been Schwartzy. Be sure to check them out on all social media outlets. I know you have Twitter. Do you have Instagram?
I do.
OnlyFans, TikTok. I don't know what you people use.
You don't want to come to my TED Talks. It's just me rambling on psychedelics for like 5 hours. So no, I have Instagram. So
follow Schwartzy on TikTok.
I do not have TikTok. I don't. I have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. That's where you can find me. And in the club. You can find me in the club, like 50 Cent said.
In the wise words of 50 Cent. Well, again, thank you for joining me, Schwartzy. Thank y'all in the chat for joining. Let me quick run through to see if there's any like specific questions in the chat. Were there any questions in the chat, Chuck?
Oh boy.
Okay, apparently not. But thank you so much for joining. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. But if there are any questions that I have missed, do message me and I will pose them to my dear new friend Schwartzy here. I see that Vic said something about podcasting and driving. It has been made clear before we went live that Schwartzy is indeed not driving himself. At least that's what he told me. So I don't feel as bad. But once again, thank you so much, Schwartzy. Thank you, chat. And I hope that everyone has a delightful evening.